Hey guys, welcome back to my obsession. Today I'm going to do a little comparison between these three little guys right here. So, what I did was break it down into ergos, forms of deployment, the best action, how it rides in your pocket, how it slices, overall looks, and then weight. That's how I'm going to break it down. Now, I put the quarter here as a reference for the, length and width, the size, I guess I could say. So just as a reference to the size and how small they are. So it looks, the Lieb is the smallest. So I did go from largest to smallest. And so when it came to ergos, the Prolix actually kind of won because you get a full three fingers and you can get a full four finger grip on this. It's small, but you can. If you use the forward choil, you can get a really, really good purchase on this knife. So I had to give it to the Prolix for that reason. And I think it deserves it for sure. The This one came in second, so the Odium came in second, and it's because these two both the they sorry they both have that forward finger choil that just it's there when you need it. I would rather have it and not need it than not have it at all. That's kind of how I feel about life, but that's how I feel about that. So this one does not have a forward finger choil, so you have to rely specifically on, solely on the handle itself. So you get a three finger grip. This is more like, I would use this for more like utility cuts and breaking down smaller boxes, envelopes, things like that. But this one came in third for ergos, and yeah, so let's move on to forms of deployment. The Prolix wins this category again because the action is nice when you use the flipper tab or use the slot in the, oh wow, there, the slot in the blade. It's got plenty of room, and you can put your finger down low, and you get the kind of the best flick from down low, but you can do it from up higher. But this one wins again as far as forms of deployment. And this one has only one form of deployment. It's amazing. It's a great form of deployment. It snaps out very well, but it only has the one. And I typically, you guys know, I like many forms of deployment on my knives, or as many as I can. And so then the next category we're going to do is best action. Now, by far, I had to give the best action to the Lieb because it's so smooth. This little thing pops out with authority, like I said. It closes so easily. The lock bar is easy to disengage with no chewy jimping there to eat up your thumb, nothing like that. The action on this is superb, I will say. Now, the second best action was the Prolix, actually, and that's probably due to the fact that it's not a coated blade. And in most cases, I think that coated blades definitely have different action as opposed to a non-coated blade, because that paint, or that coating, the DLC, or whatever it may be, it actually, you have to rub it off, basically break it in, so it's rubbing off the coating before it gets to the silver. And So you kind of have to take that into consideration when talking about, a coated blade like this. This one is a little bit more coated than this one, although it does say just a black wash. This one looks like a black wash. This one looks like it's coated. So I think that's the killer for the action on this knife. It's not that great. It doesn't pop out with authority, and sometimes you can easily fail it. So, yeah. The other two barely ever fail. Actually, the Lieb never fails. So that's another reason why I chose the Lieb for action. But number 2 would be the Prolix for sure. Number 3 is the Odium. So the next thing would be how it rides in the pocket. For sure, the Lieb is the best ride because, the best carry because I guess it's just due to the size alone. And none of these knives even weigh 3 ounces, so they're all really light. But this one rides the best by far. It does have that awesome deep carry pocket clip, which is nested into the liner, and I think that has a lot to do with it, of course. But you don't even know this is in your pocket, and I love that in a knife. I know that sometimes I love to carry a big old heavy knife, but when I do, I don't put anything else in that pocket. Now with this, you can put whatever you need to put in your pocket. So, and another thing I love about this is that you can wear it in your back pocket very easily. So the Lieb comes in first. The Odium came in second for it does. No, I was wrong. No, the Odium came in third. Sorry, guys. So the Prolix comes in second because it's very deep, nested into the liner, and it's a more slender knife. So yeah, this one definitely rides nicely, and it doesn't. This one and this one weigh the same amount, so it was kind of a tie on that one. But this one, the reason I did not choose this for second or first is because it's not a deep carry clip. It is a deep carry clip, but it's not as deep as the other ones, and they did not nest it into the liner, which they had every opportunity to do so. They did put in the flat screws, which is great, but they didn't nest the pocket clip into the liner, and they had a great, they could have totally done that. At least they give the lefties a chance with this one, though. That's nice, because this is right hand user only, so that's kind of sucky. And this is also right hand user only, so that's also sucky. Then we have the slicing ability, and I chose the Lieb for this one because the blade is a little more versatile than these two, being that it has a slight sheep's foot curve to it, but it also has a slightly stabby end, so it just works well for me, and I can use it for many different things instead of being forced into just one type of thing. Like with the Prolix, you don't really have a stabby end. You have only a stabby end with this, but a lot of belly, so that could be beneficial as well. And I think that the Odium does come in second when it comes to that. But the only reason the Prolix did not come in first or second is because it came in sharp, but it did not come in as sharp as these, and this didn't come in as sharp as this. This came in hair shaving sharp, so that's a really big reason why I chose this for the slicer, because the shape of the blade and the fact that it came shaving sharp, and it's a huge thing to me. Sorry guys, I had to get a drink there. So then, overall looks is the last, one of the last categories. So overall looks is kind of, now let me say this. This is only my opinion, you guys. If I pissed you off, it's okay. If you don't agree with me, that's okay. You know, this is just my opinion. So the best overall look, I would say it's most likely between these two. This one, it doesn't have that fancy look to it. Kind of like these two guys here. This one, it's a really, really good looking knife, I think, in my opinion. I mean, I would like to see this with a drop point blade. I think that would look really freaking cool. But I think it looks great with the Warney. And this one is definitely a beautiful blade, lots of belly. I love the slots in both of these. And but it's definitely a pretty blade. And I don't know if I showed you that form of deployment, but yeah. So as far as looks, it's gonna go to the Prolix, and I believe I'm choosing that because the little tiny aesthetics that are going on with this knife, and that's this jimping here. I think it's not only it looks good, but it's usable. You know, it doesn't chew up your finger. The finger choil and the sharpening plunge grind, it's fantastic. The pivot is pretty and it's unique. I just love their little logo. I mean, it's got a little F on it. I love the screws and that they're flat. I love that they nested the pocket clip, and that is why I love the looks of the Prolix overall much better. So that one definitely wins it for the looks. This one is number 2. This one is number 3 in looks. And then the overall weight really surprised me. The Prolix weighs 2.5 ounces and the Odium weighs 2.36 ounces. And the Lieb comes in the heaviest at 2.54 ounces. So for the smallest knife, it actually weighs the most. And I believe that's due to the liners. They are nested, but they're a little bit thicker than the other knives. So I think that's basically the only reason that one's the heaviest. I believe the G10 might be a little thicker as well. Let me see. Yeah, it's definitely thicker. Oh yeah, this is really thin. Well, so overall, this is the heaviest because the liners and the G10 are really heavy. So that brings me to what would be a really good choice to pick out of these three, and the Prolix wins it basically because it took first place in most categories, and I also think it's a good choice. All three of these would be a good choice to purchase because they're all really great knives and they all perform very well. I love the performance of the Lieb, and secretly in my mind I was hoping the Lieb would win, but the Prolix wins, and deservedly so. So, yeah, but your choice would be your choice, you know, and all three of these are a great carry. They're all very useful knives. They all have their own unique thing about them that is attractive, or the way they slice, or how they make you feel, you know. So if you like a certain thing a lot more than the other, go for it, you know. This one has the proud liners, and I love the fact that they chamfered the edges of the G10. I think it's quite beautiful, and it's just a really attractive knife. But if I had to do it all over again, I would have waited and got a non-coated blade, because I believe the coating on this blade really puts a damper on the whole thing for me. It looks good, but I wish it had a non-coated blade. That's all I could say. And I think that's ultimately the reason why the Odium lost. This one does not even seem like a coated blade. This came so smooth right out of the box. Its action is it's so good. And you can't even tell that this is coated. And I think it's because they did the stone wash on the black blades so very well that it doesn't have that. It's kind of like a buildup, and it doesn't have that to have the bearings break through, So that would be the second choice for, overall. I would choose this first, choose this second, and I would choose this third if I had to do it all over again, because I actually did this first, this second, and this third. But anyway, that's the order in which I would purchase them. That's the order in which I would grade these 3 knives. All 3 of them are a great buy. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you made it to the end. Thank you. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button and hit the bell for notifications, because I'm bringing you more stuff to see. All right. I will see you soon.